Hey there traders, thanks for joining me for this free video from thestockbandit.com. I'm sure glad that you've made it. So it's been a really interesting market. Now last weekend I took the weekend off from the free videos due to Thanksgiving, and so let me do a little bit of recap here about kind of where we are for this market. We saw a decline here of 7 straight sessions, which finished the day after Thanksgiving on that Friday half session. Okay, that brought the NASDAQ down a considerable amount. And then last week we gapped higher on Monday. You can see this gap right here on the chart. By the way, if you're not watching this full screen, go ahead and go full screen and choose the highest quality setting. That would be the 720p in the player for the HD quality. But we gapped higher on Monday. We held on Tuesday. We gave back just minimal ground here for the NASDAQ. Then we gapped higher big again on Wednesday to the tune of like 70 points. So we saw 2 major gaps Monday and Wednesday. Okay, Thursday and Friday saw some incremental gains, very minor though, and the bulk of the gains on the week for the NASDAQ took place on Monday and Wednesday, largely by way of gaps. Okay, so for the NASDAQ on the week we gained about 7.5%. That's a huge move back up. We reclaimed this 2600 level, which is a big one, and now we've got an opportunity here to rest or pull back possibly before really going up to challenge this 2705, and then beyond that we've got this 2740 area. Okay, so we've got some key levels of resistance. We're still somewhat range bound here. We're still caught in this range right here, but we've now, after breaking down, reclaimed this 2600 support area, and that's very important. Additionally, and probably the biggest thing that has taken place, is this October low has now been followed by what looks to be a higher low here in the intermediate term. That's very bullish going forward, even if in the short term we're somewhat stretched here to the upside. So give it a little bit of time, a little bit of rest and digestion of this most recent move from last week, and we've got a bullish thesis to move forward on for this market to kind of continue building after the creation of this higher low. We'll need to see that stick, so this is going to be a work in progress, but for now it's a pretty good setup out there starting to develop. For the S&P 500, this index rallied on Friday up to 1260. Okay, for members of the stockbandit.com, I've been noting this 1258 level. That's where this white line is. That was June support. That was the low during June. We respected it back here several weeks ago. And then we also saw this symmetrical triangle with these 2 blue converging trend lines. That was kind of near the upper end of this as well. That's really about 1265. But this 1258 to 65 area has been a resistance zone. We rallied right up to it on Friday, backed off a little bit. So short term, that's our first level. Beyond that is this yellow line, and it's a big, real important level at 1294. Okay, we have resistance here most recently. We found some support there during July. It was resistance during much of June. We found support back here during the spring on a couple of occasions. So this yellow line here has been a big level from both sides of the market. So as we rest and digest from this rally from last week, which by the way S&P gained about 7.5% as well, but it also created a intermediate term higher low, it appears. So we'll see if this move gets digested, we get a little bit of rest, and then possibly go up to attack this 1294 level. But all in all, really good constructive price action. The Russell added over 10% last week, and that's finishing off of its high a considerable amount on Friday. Okay, this thing I noted for members at thestockbandit.com that this level right here, 745, was the big level. Take a look at Friday's high, 744.96. You cannot get much closer than that. 745 is a big level here. It's kind of the upper end of this symmetrical triangle where this index failed and then rolled over right there. And so we've rallied all the way back up to kind of retest that area for now. We've got this level right here from the previous Friday's low, this November low, versus the October low. That's an intermediate term higher low, it appears. So let's see if we can build on this and push our way back up toward this 772, which has been a big level. Okay, we've got resistance and then multiple tests of it as support going back into earlier this year. Okay, so that's the major level here for the Russell, but again, we need to rest and digest, maybe build a flag or a pennant here, maybe base a little bit after a move of this magnitude, but the buyers are definitely showing that they're present. They're providing support even on a harsh breakdown like this. They're rallying back, and the shorts are obviously getting active to cover. For the Dow, this index really picked up some considerable ground last week as well. We've got this 12,187 level, okay, which we came right up near on Friday. 12,146 was the high. So we got about 40 points from that level. That's certainly not much for the Dow. So we got very close to test this level for the Dow. Then we backed off a little bit on the day. But all in all, this has been a huge run up here in the last week. We need to rest a little bit now. The next big level is going to be right up here at 12.3. That was some resistance right here. It was some support right there in July, and then we broke a trend line there a few weeks prior to that with this descending trend line coming right off the spring highs. Okay, so this is the next big level, 12.3. That's what we're looking at for the indices. If you haven't taken your free trial at thestockbandit.com, head over there and check it out. We'd love to show you what we're all about. Aside from that, go get them this week. Thanks for tuning in for this video. I will have more for you soon, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.